What's up everyone, Cousin Bobby here, and today we're talking about Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is an awesome third-person extraction shooter that has both PvP and PvE elements. It's blown up in the past few weeks and many players are new to the extraction shooter genre like myself. So I'm going to go through some beginner tips I wish I knew earlier to help you get up to speed in Arc Raiders early. So one of the first tips I'll give before you even start playing the game is go into your settings and check the controls. I use mouse and keyboard when I play, so I typically like to make sure some of my keyboard and mouse keys are where I would be most comfortable using them during gameplay. This is important for things like crouching, dodging, and shoulder swapping your gun, which you'll be using a lot in combat and throughout the game. Again, you might want to use the default controls, but this is player preference. So you might want to test out a couple of different combinations and see which ones work out best for you. Next up, we have in-game proximity and party chat. I would recommend turning on the controls for toggling proximity and party chat on. These chat options default to always on, and if you're trying to not give away your location while in a raid, it is important to make sure that you adjust these settings. When you turn toggle chat controls on, make sure to find some keys that are easy to reach while playing, as you'll be using them a lot during the raids. Also, as a bonus, if you're having trouble hearing footsteps through your headphones or speakers, try going to the top of the audio settings and there is a mode called night mode. This will help bring up the volume of those footsteps, so you should be able to hear them. Alright, now let's talk about how a basic match usually goes in Arc Raiders. Usually when you load in, you'll be spawned into a safe part of the map. I recommend looking at your map and familiarizing yourself with some of the locations and where you are. Yellow areas on the map indicate moderately decent loot, and red areas on the map are where more high-tier loot is. In addition to those areas, there are also indicators on the map that show what types of materials are likely to be found at each location. Higher tier loot areas might be more risk versus reward, as there will likely be more ARC and more PvP in those areas. If you hear gunfire or see a signal flare, this will let you know either 1, a gunfight is going on nearby, or 2, a player has just been down. When this happens, it's player preference if you want to engage with other teams either by teaming up to take on ARC, engage in PvP, or continue looting your location, as some higher level ARC and players might be holding better loot as well. Lastly, when you are done looting or completing your objectives and you're ready to leave, look for an extraction site as they are located on the map and also have timers associated with them. Alright, so let's go over a quick recap. 1. Load into a match. 2. Decide where you want to go. 3. Head there and start looting. 4. Decide if you want to do PvP or not. And 5. When ready, extract at the extraction point. As mentioned earlier, at the end of the raid, you'll need to extract. Typically, you can use the normal extraction locations, but if you have a hatch key, there are several additional locations you can use for quick extraction. On the map, you'll see several locations labeled Raider Hatches. They are the extraction sites you'll need a key to use. If you want to use these locations to extract, make sure that you have a hatch key in your inventory before you start the raid. Once at the hatch location, if you have a key, you'll be able to push the button to open the hatch. As a reminder, these hatches are on a timer, so be sure to use them only at the time of extraction. Up next, we have free loadouts. Free loadouts are a great way to jump into raids without feeling the pressure of losing items you worked hard to acquire. When you use a free loadout, you'll get a random set of equipment to carry out the raid when you select this option. Once you complete a raid, you'll be able to take the free loadout to Lance and upgrade to an uncommon augment for future use. Again, free loadouts are a great way to learn raids without losing too many items in the beginning. Another tip for beginners is to focus on quests. You'll get quests from vendors around Speranza. These are objectives that
But be
once you
careful whenever
complete
you head
them,
into
you'll get
Stella
loot and
Montes.
items that can
Still
be
don't know what to
helpful for
expect
new
here.
raiders. Most early quests are quite
Even them
simple and
older can
either
only do so
have you
much with beads
collecting
and
items,
materials.
going to a
Know what I
location,
mean?
or hunting arcs. You'll also be able to complete some
The vault is
quests
signed.
even if you end
We
up
can't
not
expect
being
you to
able to
activate them,
extract,
but
so
try to
they
be
help with
respectful at
progress
least.
even early on in the beginning. Another good thing to focus on early in Arc Raiders is to expand your stash space as early as possible. Your stash space is where all items you collect after raids will be stored between matches. Early on in the game, space is limited, but through credits, you can expand your stash to have up to 280 slots. You'll find the expand button for increasing your stash space in the inventory system, and it is located at the top on the left section of the screen. Expanding your stash space will be important as later on in the game, higher level blueprints will require more items to craft them. As mentioned earlier, you'll need to collect many different items in order to craft higher level gear. In addition to this, you'll need to upgrade your workbenches in order to craft these higher level items. To see what you need to craft these workbenches or what's needed to upgrade them, go over to the workshop. You'll either have a plus option to create a new workbench, or if already crafted, the option to select the workbench and go to the level up tab. These options will show you what is needed to craft or upgrade these stations. I recommend prioritizing these items early in the game so that you can gain access to crafting better quality gear. Now that you know how to build workbenches and upgrade them, you'll want to prioritize these items in your raid. The game has a built-in tracking system for all items you can craft that will allow you to identify these items while in a raid. You can do this both for workshop upgrades as well as items that you can craft, such as weapons, ammo, shields, and all other usable equipment. Go to your workshop and select the item or workbench you want to upgrade or craft. When you select this object, you will see the crafting materials needed. On the same page, you will see the option to select and track these items. There is no limit on how many projects you can track, so feel free to add as many as you need. In a raid, the item will show up with an eye icon on it. This means it is an item you are tracking for a project. This is super helpful prioritizing loot runs and helps you identifying what is worth keeping quickly and efficiently. Now let's talk about Scrappy, your rooster companion located in the workshop area. Scrappy helps collect crafting materials at the end of each raid. The amount collected is dependent on the length of time you're in the raid, if you successfully extracted, and Scrappy's level. Similar to tracking materials for crafting items, you can track the items needed to level up Scrappy. I recommend leveling up Scrappy as soon as possible, as you'll be able to passively get crafting materials and seeds that will help you early on in the game. Another currency that is helpful early on in the game is seeds. Seeds are a currency you can spend with Celeste to trade for crafting materials that will help you make better gear. Some of the items Celeste have can also help you level up your workbenches. Celeste also sells blue and purple rarity gear and crafting materials for higher level items.
Raider, good to see
You can also sell a full stack of seeds for 10,000 credits, so it's a great way to build that currency too. I recommend collecting seeds either through leveling up Scrappy, or if you find them in a raid, as they will help you with getting crafting items from Celeste or selling them
I'm
for
just happy we're
credits,
no longer
which you can
mixing in
use to
sawdust with the
expand
flour.
your stash. Lastly, as you progress in the game, you'll be able to level up your raider through the skill tree. Overall, the skills you pick are player preference, so depending on how you want to play depends on what skills you might pick. The skill tree is broken out into 3 branches: conditioning, mobility, and survival. There are a couple of skills I do want to call out that helped me early in the game. In-round crafting, which allows you to craft some items while in the raid. Silent Scavenger, which helps you make less noise while looting. Marathon Runner, for more efficient stamina usage. Youthful Lungs for increased max stamina. Nimble Climber for faster vaulting and climbing. Again, my recommendation is to be thoughtful when picking your skills and read through each skill tree to help pick skills that best suit your playstyle. Overall, Arc Raiders has been a fantastic game, and I hope that all the recommendations I have provided help you to get started in your journey. I'll be posting more videos and guides in the near future to help you through your journey in the Wasteland, so be on the lookout. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button to support our channel and help it grow. I look forward to catching you in the next one. Catch me if I fall.